Thanks for coming back. If you are on Telegram, I have made a public Just Conspiracy page on Telegram. Please try to find it. I don't think we have a logo or anything yet, but I will try to work on that as soon as I find some time. Anyways, right now we're going to listen to a little bit of court stuff. Probably going to talk about it tonight. So why don't we just dive right into it? I got a couple of traffic tickets about 6 months ago, and here's what happened. Let's figure this out.
So how are you pleading on this? Obviously you had an expired tag, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you're guilty of that and you don't have insurance?
Don't have insurance.
Never had insurance?
Never had insurance. Well, no, it's not that I never had insurance, it's that I work off of donations, and I don't have.
You didn't have the means to keep it going?
Not means.
Your license still good?
Yes, sir. So I'll return that to say wishes.
The license?
Yes,
You
sir.
don't need your driver's. Because in reference to the failure to maintain proof of insurance on a vehicle that's operating on the road, they may send you correspondence from the DMV asking for some type of proof that you have insurance, and if you don't have that proof, they may actually suspend that driver's license for a period of time. Is that all right?
Yeah, as I said, if the city wishes for their property back, I shall return.
So let me just explain this really quick. You never made a driver's license. It's not your driver's license. I don't care which state you're in. It doesn't say it's your driver's license. It's going to say whatever state you're in, driver's license. It's not going to say your name and then driver's license. Okay? So it's not your driver's license. It's the state's driver's license. Well, if they're charging their driver's license, then they can be responsible for paying the ticket. That's all I'm saying.
I have the right to due process of law, correct?
You have a
Now, before I play this next part, I'd just like to say that I'm cutting a lot out to kind of condense this down. This is the last time I ask him if I have the right to due process of law. And he just completely walks around it. Listen to how he avoids the question.
I have the right to due process of law, correct?
You have a right to a trial. You have a right to a bench trial, a jury trial, a right to an attorney and public defender.
Do I not have the right to due process of law?
That's what we're doing. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to argue about it. And there's a contempt charge too.
I'm not arguing, I'm just asking if I have the right.
Due process is where you're at today.
Okay, I wish to move to dismiss, there's no more process.
The officer is unavailable to be here. He is working an accident, was called to a scene, whatever it was. He called about an hour ago and was going to try to get here. So you can either come back, ask for a trial, and we'll set you up for a trial. If he doesn't show up the next time, then I will be more than happy to dismiss the charge. Or I can minimize your fine or something like that.
Alright, so let me just kind of break this down for a second. First, he won't answer if I have the right to due process of law, which I do. You do. But they don't give it to you. And this right here just proved it. Because I said, I got the right to due process of law, correct? He said, that's where you're at today. Then dismiss it. Nobody's here to prosecute. If you or I go and file a charge against somebody and we don't go to court when it's our court date to prosecute them, guess what? They're going to throw it out because we don't care enough to be down there. But the state can do it. And it's okay. Also, at the same time, pay attention. He said, well, if the officer doesn't show up next time, I'll dismiss it. Keep that in mind, okay? Because we're talking about good faith and bad faith doctrine. Good faith and bad faith doctrine. And notice, he didn't say I had a right to due process of law. He said you have the right to trial by jury or trial by bench, okay? Well, if I don't have due process of law, I don't really care. Doesn't really matter. But the first step in due process of law is you got to have a verified complaint upon the record of the court.
So what do you want to do with this? You want to go to trial? if you wanna take the guilty, I can reduce the tag down to $25. I can, actually, I'll waive your fine for the insurance if you wanna do that. You know, some of, whatever point you wanna pay the 25, you can do it. If you don't wanna do that, then, you need to indicate to me if you want a bench trial, jury trial. We'll reset the court date to the next, court date, and, we'll go forward from there. What you wanna do?
Well, again, alright, my wish is to dismiss this.
Right, those wishes are denied.
There's a failure to prosecute here. I mean, I'll tell you, as soon as the accuser manifests and verifies the nature of the wrong and causes the accusation, at that point, I will plead. I'll understand how to plead. But until a man or a woman shows up as the accuser and verifies
All right, we'll already set your court date. Is your address correct on the tickets?
Okay, you see? They're not going by due process of law. If they're going by due process of law, failure to prosecute. Let's get it gone, okay? If you're not going by due process of law, you're not going by due process of law. And I wish for you to notice, they were willing to throw out the no insurance, okay? This would be the ticket that most people would be upset about and think I actually should be fined over. Because most people think I should have insurance on my vehicle in case I damage their vehicle. See, they were willing to drop that one first because they don't care about you. These laws are not set up to protect you because they don't. And if you disagree with me, why don't you show me some cases where these laws, these statutes actually protect you? Just show me some very solid, factual cases of these things protecting you. I've never seen them. I've never seen them actually protect people. The only thing I've seen statutes and codes and state laws do is make the state money, generate profits, and administrate you against your will for the most part. And they don't even follow their own rules, their own faith, nothing.
I in good faith, thank you for your time.
You're very welcome. Look for a subpoena from us for that next court date, okay? All right, y'all have a great day. Be safe out there.
Just stay healthy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Always be lovely with them. Always.
What did I get with?
Well, so this is me going back this past Monday. So February the 8th. And here's another magistrate talking to me, denying me due process of law, denying me access to rights. Let's see what he has to say. I think it was November 17th, if my memory serves me correctly, when I was pulled in here on these two file numbers. And the officer didn't show up. It was about 40 minutes. I was like, well, let me just file a piece of paper, move to dismiss, because if nobody's going to show up to prosecute, then you have failure to prosecute, right? So when I was arguing with the magistrate about that, he said, well, if you come back next time and the officer doesn't show up again, I'll drop it. I'll dismiss it. I just wish for it to be dropped.
No, I'm not going to drop it right now. We can reset it. If it's something that we can help you with right now, we'll be glad that whatever we can possibly do to help.
You're good. Or there's no would help.
Well, but I'm not going to do that.
Okay, you just sat here and said whatever I could possibly do.
Well, I also said I'm not going to dismiss it, so maybe you need to listen a little better instead of trying to argue with me. If you want to contest it, we'll set it for April. All right?
Alright, I wasn't arguing with him. I wasn't contesting it. He's the one who said, anything I could do to help you, I'll do it. I said, yeah, I've been asking you to help me. Just dismiss it. You know what? You're actually not even really helping me. You're just upholding due process of law. All you're really doing when you're dismissing it is your job. You're just upholding my right to due process of law. And is that so hard to do? And the other thing, this is why I told you, so listen to the other guy. Because he said he would dismiss it. He didn't dismiss it. He was speaking on behalf of the state. The other guy speaking on behalf of the state didn't dismiss it. If they don't even follow their own word, why should you? Why should you?
Let's do that then.
Okay, well, the service of summons will be at the end of this month. Okay, so when I come back in April, I wish for somebody to prove jurisdiction on the record of the court. Yeah.
Meaning what?
Meaning, when you get a driver's license, it's basically the contract with the DMV, there's an issue of a service of summons, which means the state can pull you into court without proving jurisdiction as a fact established on the record of the court for 6 months. They can pull you back, send you back out, pull you back again. After 6 months, they have to prove jurisdiction on the record of the court.
Incorrect.
Okay, awesome. You say it's incorrect. Then you have to prove jurisdiction upon the record of the court right now. Right now. I mean, you can go and look at 100 case law really, really easily that says jurisdiction can't be presumed or assumed. It has to be proven. It has to be a proven fact upon the record of the court. And it's not. It's not. They never prove it, because one thing is with these cases, typically it's impossible to prove if the individual is not wishing for you to give them jurisdiction, or is not wishing to give jurisdiction to you, because there's no harm, injury, or loss done. There's no standing. But for some reason, the government seems to think that they can just come and take things from you without standing, without anything happening to them or anybody else. And they do this, they get away with it because they tell you and have you convinced that they're protecting you, when really they're just robbing your brother. That's it. That's all that's going on. And then they don't even stick to their word. They don't even do the things they're saying they're gonna do for you. They don't even act in good faith. They said they were gonna send me a subpoena. They sent me a summons. I could charge them for a subpoena. I can't charge them for a summons. They said they were gonna let it go twice. They didn't. Well, they said they were going to let it go one time. Then they said they would do anything they could do to help me. They didn't. They didn't.
That's not correct.
Okay.
All right, so if you're contesting these, then we will reset them. We'll look on here. We'll see what that is.
I mean, I'm not contesting it. So this is really important. See, they got to have you kind of arguing with them. Okay? You got to be contesting it. He just said, if you're contesting these, I'm not contesting it. Okay? You heard me at the beginning. Yep. No tags. No registration. No insurance. Don't have the money, keep it up. Not contesting that. I'm just exercising my right to due process of law. That's it. I mean, just as I told the other magistrate, as soon as a man or a woman gets on, the witness stand and testifies that I did wrong to him, I'll know how to plea. Like, I will understand how to plea at that point in time. But that's due process of law.
Your plea would be before trial begins. If you plead guilty or not guilty, that's before trial.
But I don't know how to plead if there were no facts upon the record that I'm pleading to. Like, how could I plead without facts being upon the record of court?
Like everybody else.
And what he's just saying right there is he's just saying, like all the other slaves, okay? Because it's all about this. It's about that hamster wheel, all right? There are no facts on the record of the court. There are no facts. There's no jurisdiction. How do I plead? Like, hey, did you do wrong? I don't know, man. What did I do? Did you do wrong? You gotta tell me if you're guilty or not guilty of doing wrong. But if you're not guilty, I'm gonna make sure you're guilty anyways. As soon as you tell me you're not guilty. Well, what did I do? Dude, we don't have any time for facts. Did you do wrong or not? I don't know. I mean, literally, that's why I'm here. Did I do wrong? Do you have jurisdiction over me? Let's figure these things out. And a good way of doing that is typically by due process of law. So as protected. Or should be. But nobody knows it anymore, so we're going to lose it. we're going to lose it fast. And they don't hold to their word. So, but I'm not just like anybody else. I'm not. I know what due process of law is. I'm going to hold you to it. It's pretty simple.
You plead to the charge.
What charge? What did I do wrong?
What really was it fair to maintain proof of insurance in your car and
Who did I harm?
with the registration?
Who did I harm?
The state.
I harmed the state.
You're obligated to follow the same laws as everyone else. I'm not going to argue with you, okay? This is a game. I'm not going to play it. I don't have time for this nonsense.
All right, have a good day.
We'll reset your date. Hang on a second. You're get your date.
No, I'm not going to hang on a second. I'm not going to contract with you. I'm not going to work with you when you're working with me in bad faith. I'm not going to work with you in good faith when you're working with me in bad faith. Every time you tell me you're going to do something that's to my benefit, and then I come and I say, hey, you said if I come back and the officer's not here, you're going to dismiss it. You're going to give me that piece of paper. Oh, you're not going to do that? Well, that's kind of bad faith. Well, you just told me anything I can do to help you. Well, you could help me by just dismissing it. Oh, you're not going to stick to your word? Well, that's bad faith. And you want me to keep working with you in good faith? Well, who did I harm? You harmed the state. Oh, yeah? What did I do to harm the state? Like show me the itemized bill of where I caused damage to the state, where I hurt the state, where I damaged some property of the state. No, you're just obligated. You are obligated. You want to know why? Because you're a slave. Because slaves are obligated to work for masters. And you want to know how you know that's true? Because they can't explain it to you. Because that's the only way to explain it. The only way to explain it. When somebody can't explain why you're obligated to do something, when you ask them, it's because they're forcing you to. It's because they're forcing you to. And this is getting to a really, really scary place. So start thinking about this stuff, because they're coming after me like this over traffic tickets, but they're stealing children all across this nation. Same people, the state, coming after me because I just wish for them to prove jurisdiction. Upon the record, follow due process of law, but they can't do that for me, but yet they can go take my neighbor's children. No facts on the record. Nothing. Well, what gives them the right to do that? Oh, we're going to protect you. How do you like that protection? Anyways, I am just conspiracy. I just wish to conspire with other good people on this planet to leave a better world for future generations than the world we all grew up in. Peace.